So I want to talk to you a little bit about rethinking how you recruit and not maybe the way you do it, but who you talk to. Because, you heard Bonnie talk about know who is at your parties or know who you're talking to. Well, when you're recruiting people, you need to do the same thing. And I know I've been doing this for years. When I talk to people about recruiting, the first people I talk to are who? Young moms that need an extra income, ladies that need, like a side thing that they want to do. But most of the time, when we're thinking about those things, we're thinking about women and we're thinking about women with kids, women that need extra money. You guys, there are so many other people out there besides those people. Okay. And so let's talk about some of them. What about like right now? You've got all of these seniors that just graduated that are either headed into the job force or maybe their own apartment or house. Maybe some of them are getting married. A lot of them are going to college. You know what they don't have? They don't have things for their kitchen. They don't have things for that college dorm room. And a lot of them don't have a lot of money to spend on that. Well, right now they might have a lot of money because they just got all that graduation money, but they don't have the equipment they need to be able to sustain themselves in those dorm rooms. I know my own granddaughter, they end up with things in their dorm room like open bags of chips and crackers. A lot of them have microwaves in the dorm room. They also have microwaves right down the hall in a like a community room. They can cook in there. They can make popcorn. They can make dinners. They can reheat if they have the things to do it in. I don't know about you. I don't want my grandkids going to college and having to reheat whatever they got at Jersey Mike's in a styrofoam container in a microwave. Okay. I don't want them doing that. I don't want them to have to put it on some paper plate that's down in the cafeteria with no cover on it and hope for the best when they pull it out of there. These kids need Tupperware. They also need money. And there is nothing more fun than showing the people that you're rooming with in the dorm that your Tupperware is amazing and them getting their parents to buy it for them because we all know that's what's going to happen, right? When my one granddaughter went to college, she took a micro pro grill with her. And when she left those people in that dorm room to go to another room, two of the girls that were in that room with her had their parents buy them grills because they were like, Emma, you can go ahead and move, but you have to leave the grill. And she was like, no,
Yeah.
grill's going with me, but I know where you can get one. And so that's the kind of thing. And they need, they can make the money doing that. There is nothing wrong with selling to your friends, selling to your professors. So you got a whole new group of people with college kids. Okay. You've got people that we don't think about a lot are people that we assume are already financially secure. They don't need extra money. I don't know who can't use a little extra play money, but we know people that we think, well, they don't need this. They don't need to make extra money. They might not, but they might want to maybe redo their whole kitchen. They might want to just have other people to talk to, women to be around, other places to go, couples that they can go out with, or like on here, be with once a week or a couple times a week on Zoom where they can meet people. And these are people that we don't normally talk to. Okay. Sometimes we're even a little shaky about talking to them. They love Tupperware. And if you have somebody that is like, maybe just tired of the colors in their kitchen and want to start over, we have so many new products and so many fun colors. These are people that you need to talk to about signing up and getting the discount for themselves. Let's see who else do I have on here. Oh, this was a biggie. All right. When you guys are out somewhere or you're at a party and there are men at that party, how many of us concentrate on the women in the party and don't even think about asking the men if they're interested in joining us? Men love Tupperware. Bonnie talked about people that like to grill, guys that like to fish. I don't, if some of you know Nancy Lagan. Her husband used to take, again, the grill into work with him, and he would make his lunch in the grill. He actually did a demo one day in the lunchroom with the grill with bratwurst and sold three of them that day. Because men, if they want something, they're going to find a way to buy it. All right. We know this. And then they're going to tell you it's for you and they bought you this thing, but they're really happy about it. One of the best parties I ever had was a couples party. And the men ended up going out in the garage to talk or do whatever men do in garages. But when they came back in, they wanted things like the mandolin, the cheese grater. Men want the high price stuff. Okay. They want the tools for the kitchen. They want the playthings for the kitchen because they're not really concerned with what bowl you're going to put it in, but they want to have a good time with all the things they can play with in the kitchen. So you want to talk to men about being able to demo, being able to make some extra money. You know, guys like extra money. Their hobbies cost money and they might need some extra money for that kind of thing. So these are the kind of people that we need to start thinking about. Actually, they just fall into a whole group of people we're afraid to talk to. Okay. We're afraid to talk to guys because they think we're going to think that we're crazy. You know, I can't be a Tupperware lady. No, you can be a Tupperware guy, which is even cool. Okay. Um, college kids, I don't want somebody to think I'm taking advantage of their son or their daughter. No, you want to help them save money. You want to help them be able to eat healthy once they leave home and not have open bags of chips laying all over the root floor of the dorm room. Okay. Because it happens. I've been there. And you want to talk to these people that you believe have money, okay? And honestly, we don't actually know what goes on in people's lives. Some people look like they have a lot of money and they might not. And some people look like they don't have any money and they might have a whole lot of money. So you can't judge people just by what you see or what somebody else tells you. So don't be afraid of those people and don't be afraid to talk to your friends. Okay. Even if they told you no before, even if they've said, I'm really not interested, things change in people's lives. And what they weren't interested in 2 years ago, 2 months ago, 2 days ago, something may have changed that can make them think, yeah, that might not be a bad idea right now. Okay. So you want to talk to them about the products. Our brand is amazing. 80 years of the Tupperware brand. You can't get that anywhere. Okay. Well, maybe a couple places, but you cannot get the stability that comes with the Tupperware name in very many places. And when it's like Kleenex. It's a name brand. Tissues are what they are. Kleenex is the name brand. And people will say, oh, I have plenty of Tupperware. Check it out because they may have a whole bunch of plastic things with sort of kind of lids in their house, but it's not necessarily Tupperware. And people want the best. They want the best for themselves. They want the best for their kids, and they want the best for their parents. So it's like a generational thing that you can get these people involved in. The other thing that I want to say about when you talk to people about recruiting, don't start out with recruiting, okay? Start the conversation. And you'll hear Nikki say this all the time about doing things online, but whether it's in person or online, if you see somebody, and I see it all the time in like Marketplace or some of the groups that I'm in, and somebody's like, does anybody know how I can make some money from home? And there are 500 people that answer them and go, I sell this, I sell that. Have you thought about selling this? No, 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 no. What you want to do with these people is talk to them like you really care about what they want. Okay. Because you really do. If they're going to talk to you about Tupperware, you want to know what they're looking for. What is it you're looking for? How much money are you looking to make? How many hours do you have to do it? Or do you have little kids at home or do you work full time? Or are you working part time? All those and the other thing is when they answer you, pay attention. All right. Don't ask just to ask the question. Ask to find out what they really need. You might find out that you have a lot of shared experiences with these people that you can help them with. And that's the other thing. When they're telling you about themselves, don't listen trying to already answer in your head. Listen to them to hear what they're saying and then if you have something you can share with them, that's great. Maybe you don't have to do it first time out, okay? If they're telling you about somebody in their family that's been really sick or a child that's in sports, if somebody is telling you this is totally, totally true. If somebody is telling you something about a child or a grandchild that is in sports, and they're telling you how wonderful their grandson is at pitching, the next thing out of your mouth does not need to be, "Oh, I know I have a grandson that made this all-state team." And no, that is not. They want you to tell them how happy you are that their grandson is that good at pitching. So, listen like you would and respond like you want people to respond to you. And when you get that friendship going, then they will be more likely to listen to the other things you have to say about the business. So when you start thinking about recruiting, because this is a great month to recruit, we have all kinds of things going on. And you can, the summer sizzle's coming up. There's recognition for recruiting along with sales and some other things. Just think about what you would want people to do for you and rethink who it is you're talking to. Talk to everybody. And I don't mean all the women that you meet, I mean everybody. And see where that goes for you, because I think it just opens up a whole new world of people for us to talk to.